Okay, how's everyone doing? All right, we can get started on this. My name is Eric Lacasse. I'm the owner of AI SEO Expert. Also the co-owner of Neon Appeal. I've been doing SEO for about the last 6 years. As of June of last year, that became irrelevant when AI and Gemini came out. All the SEOs in the community had to make adjustments. Some of the adjustments were new things to learn. Other adjustments were just rebranding some of the old techniques that we've learned. Now, I've been presenting here for about the last year and a half, and I changed the title because in the last year or so, I kind of went a little too deep into the jargon of what SEO was. And I went back and I looked at all the videos that I've done, and I thought, I need to make it more simpler. People want answers as to how AI finds a business. So this presentation is going to be more on less jargon and more of an understanding of the actionable things and the bigger ecosystem that we all have to live with AI. It's changed, everything about this. Some of the things we have to get rid of, thinking-wise. Keywords, gone. Ranking, gone. Pages for your website. More is not good. Less is better. And I'm going to explain to you how this all works. But before we do that, let's look at the past. How did we find ourselves as business owners? What were we told on the internet, on YouTube, before June of last year, how to make a business successful? We were told to build a website. We were told to put some kind of SEO, and then we were told to run ads. And yet, some people still felt invisible. Even though you were paying Google to put you on the top 3 links on the old Google search results page, nothing happened. That's changed, all right? Let's also look at what else we were told to do. Pick keywords. You pick the right keywords, you'll rank higher. If you rank higher, you'll get more clicks. If you get more clicks, you get more customers. Everyone here knows that that's not the same anymore. But there's also a math behind this as well. Every business website has 3 years. 3 years from which we stop relying on the Google Blue links, the map pack, the snippets, the 3 ads at the top and the other 4 at the bottom. The old search results page is going away. So that's why I'm changing this for AI, because if you start adopting this stuff now, you don't have to worry about blue links ever again. You don't ever have to worry about paid ads ever again. So let's get into it. Search is about answers, not links. We don't search the way we used to in the past. You would put your little question at the top of the Google search results, and it would give you 10 links for you to decide where to go next. It'd give you 3 ads. It'd give you a map pack. It would give you snippets. Those days are over. It's giving you one answer or a couple answers. The competition now is, are you being mentioned by AI? And what do you need to do to make that happen? People are asking it full questions, carrying conversations with AI to get an inquisitive look at to what you actually are looking for. This differentiates by one word. If you were looking for the word best, Google in the past would give you 10 different options for you to decide what the best is. But now it knows what best is for you. It knows what you're looking for. Most reviews closest to where you live. That's just one word. There are the entire language of things that we're asking AI to find for us. That changes everything. And also, AI has done something that Google's search results page have never done before. Summarizes everything, gives you reviews and recommendations. Why? We want to be told what to do. We just explained in the last few previous slides, we were told how to build a business. AI is telling us where to go next, right? So, if you can see at the very top there, I got cut off, but old SEO versus new SEO. Now let's get into some of the specifics of what is old and what is new. The old way, if we were all part of a plumbing company, would put Plumbers Las Vegas somewhere in our website. It was old. It had relative data behind it. If someone's searching for plumbers, it will show up somewhere. That's changed. What do you do as a plumber? The new answer is that. How can I fix my sink in Summerlin? Who can fix my sink in Summerlin? Who can do a water heater replacement in one day? That's what needs to be on your website. It needs to be an answer to the most generalized inquiries of what your business and industry is. And how do you defeat it as soon as possible? This is where an FAQ is going to be very important. If you can list the problems that your industry or the known objections of your company or an industry company is, you can defeat it on the homepage. But you also can defeat it in socials. You can make posts that ask the question about the inquiries that people have of your industry and defeat them before they even come to your page. Because if they're coming to your page because of that post and the answer that you give, you already done 50% of the conversion right there. Just by putting it on social, Facebook, Instagram, making a video about it. And we'll get into videos in a little bit, but here's a great example underneath that. This statement, we offer plumbing services in Las Vegas. That could be the first piece of copy for many websites in the old way. Right, it tells you what you do. But the one below it, if your water heater breaks, here's how we can fix it the same day. That is indexable by AI. It answers the question right off the bat. People that would scroll down to find the contact information will be inquisitively engaged based on the second response, not the first one. All right. Another thing we have to look at with old SEO, ranking doesn't matter. Now, some people can still say, well, I'm still position 1 for my industry keywords today. Cool. Next year, they could say that. Cool. But there will be a day when people are using ChatGPT more than going to Google search results page. Google already knows this. They're already starting to push what's called AI overview mentions. This is their attempt, and they're going to be very successful at it, to give you the answer in less space. This is why you have 3 years. After that 3-year part, if you still have copy that's plumbers in Las Vegas, we offer services in Summerlin and Pahrump, and you do not answer questions, nothing changes. It's part of the system now. So that is why I talk about this, to get you ready for that time. Because if you start developing this now, in 3 years, they're going to be asking you, how come you get more customers? Because you've already started redesigning everything for today. Now, here's another thing that we didn't imply, or with SEO and AI SEO, is now we have an ecosystem behind it. People are not just looking at your website. They're looking at your reviews. They're assessing the clarity of your website. They're seeing if you consistently post. They're checking your reputation. And most important of all, do you build a community around your business? Does someone that just gave you $1 for your services or your product, are they part of a bigger ecosystem after they've purchased it? Do you have a Facebook group that brings them back into the fold after they've purchased? And do you reach out to them for a video testimonial? Do they leave reviews on their Google My Business page? Have you used that Google review as a post for Instagram? We are now living in an age where one size of things, one idea does not affect success. It is a community. It is open-ended. Some things, everything can be brought into something else. And at the very bottom, the old way was about being seen. Now it's about being chosen. What are you doing to be chosen? It's very simple. Now, SEOs love their acronyms. And this is the one that kind of defined old SEO, EEAT, and new SEO, YMYL. Let's talk about the old stuff. EAT, experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. It was the gold standard of copy, posting, website development, website structure, talking about how awesome you are. I've been in business for 10 years. I am the authority of this industry in Las Vegas. I'm the most trusted business in Las Vegas for what I do. This was the gold standard. Now, it's changed because keywords aren't important anymore. It's about being chosen. It's about answering the questions. That's where YMYL comes in. Your money, your life. What does someone get when they give you $1? Do they get status, more money, security? Do they get represented in a legal dispute? What is it that your business does when they give you $1? This also applies to business. You can replace that L and make it YMYB. Your money, your business. What makes you different than another person that does the exact same thing you do? What is it that you provide them? And it's not about just saying it. It's about other people believing it. Do they talk about you on their socials, on their posting? Do they make a video, a testimonial video about working with you? And we're going to get into reviews in a little bit because reviews is the new unspoken frontier as far as promotion and AI. So, trust is the most important thing that you can establish when it comes to differentiating yourself from your competitors. Certain businesses have a very strong YMYB, your money, your business. If your business promotes health, saving money or making money, if it promotes helping you with a legal dispute or home services, Google is really going to pay attention to all of this. And it's only going to pick the ones that answers those YMYB questions the best. All right? It's very important that if your business falls into one of those categories, that you very strategically place yourself into getting to the root of what objections are going to be. Because if you can establish it now and answer those questions that you're different because you provide blah, 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 AI will see that now. And then you build on it. And then you build on it. And you build on it. All right. So let's get down to some actionable things for a website today. Number 1, clear website structure. H1s, H2s, H3s. The objection in the AI SEO world today is no movies, no animations, because AI does not watch or render JavaScript. So, what does that mean? For your business website, you can go into the App Store and download the JavaScript Disabler program, put it in the browser, pull up your business website and hit the button to disable JavaScript. What shows up is what AI is already indexed. Some businesses lose some logos, some animations. Some businesses that were designed completely in WordPress are completely gone, completely erased, because the whole thing with Elementor is that it programmed it in JavaScript. So, very important, very basic thing to do is to look at what AI even sees of your website right now, right? Next thing, answer to real questions about your business. It's so important today. You're not going to beat the algorithm. You're just not going to beat this thing. But you can talk to people as if they're reading your content, reading your website, and inquisitively asking, do I trust this business? The easiest way to get that is to get other people to talk about how much they trust you, right? But the problem is no one's going to be able to cheat this thing. It's only going to grow, and it's only going to get more and more sophisticated. It's already there. But honesty is always the best policy when it comes to this. Answering people's questions as if you're talking to them, as if you're in a networking event, as if you're in an elevator pitch. That's what's converting. Honest reviews. This is the great problem that is going to be remedied with AI. And that is negative reviews. Some businesses like to argue, like to say that the problem with the 1 star is not me, it's you. You came in with this attitude, you came in with that attitude. Negative reviews is the greatest opportunity that you will get as a business, because now you can find what their objections are. You also have an opportunity to use persuasion. Contact them. Maybe they had an off day. Maybe you guys had an off day. There are ways in using someone that had a negative experience and being honest with them so that they can change it from a 1 to a 4. And what do you think you gain when someone changes a 1 star to a 4? Testimonials, posts, TikToks, short form videos. They're literally giving you posting and equity and trust from a negative review. But you have to look at negative reviews in this light now. It's nothing personal, this is business. But if they say they didn't have a great experience, ask them why. You have an opportunity here to take this one bad thing and turn it into multiple good things that establish trust, right? Consistent information across platforms. We are now in the era with AI where you should have profiles on all social platforms. Now, the optimization side of the argument here is, why would you do that? Because you're going to take posts from one social and plug the best ones into the other ones. You're going to feed the buckets with your socials. Now, as a data person myself, how much should you be posting? There should be no limit. You want data 3, 4, 5 times a day for 1 month. Just think of the data you would have. Think about that for a second. If you posted 4 times a day for 30 days, 1 month, you would know what your objections are. You would know what people are resonating with your business is. You would take those top posts and filter them into another system to see if they resonate in that system, from Facebook into LinkedIn or LinkedIn into Facebook. You would have the exact copy that you need on your website. You would have the answers to the relative questions, and you did it because you put all that forthright effort for 1 month. You'd make videos on the top performing posts. You would have people that worked with you give a testimonial or a review. You would use that review to put into one social and then to another. AI is paying attention to this now. They want to know, are you consistent? If you're just staying in Instagram, that doesn't mean that you're a bad business. It's just AI wants to know, are you care about TikTok? Do you put something in Facebook? Do you put something on X? This all flows into the philosophy of the new AI. Socials dictate SEO, SEO dictates socials. One hand feeds the other. It's very, very important to understand. You want optimization? What are people saying? The best way to find that out is the socials. But you have to do it at mass, not all the time, but give yourself 1 month to post as much as you could. Now, the algorithm for those socials are not going to like you. They're not. If you post too much, they start pushing you down as far as impressions. But that's not the point. If you have to scale it down, scale it back, fine, scale it back. But you have to start looking at socials as your petri dish for your business. Now, the most important thing, another important thing, other than consistency, is we have to start looking at our websites objectively, as if we were customers ourselves. Would you buy from you? If not, what do you need to tell people that would make them interested in learning more about you? Right? This is where animations and photos and all this stuff that adds to the ambiance of your website, we have to start looking at scaling that down and getting to the actual words that actually get to what we're trying to sell or who we're trying to be or trying to be a product around. The site needs to be consistent. It needs to drive what you do, your YMYB, YMYL, to a direct response answer to the most basic questions that people have of your industry. All right. This stuff might seem hard, but it's not. It's just different. AI is still part of an ecosystem built on computers, built on bringing people information as they want it. The system is not changed. It's still the same, but it's smarter. It summarizes. Why? Because we don't want to go through blue links anymore. We're tired of it. We don't want to have to scroll through 3 pages of blue links to find what we're looking for. They filter. They get to the point of what you are trying to sell because the person that's asking the questions wants the answer directed for them. And they recommend. AI recommends where to go next. So businesses, in general, they're not failing. It's just a misinterpretation of what's going on. They're not being understood clearly. Being found today is about clarity, trust, and usefulness. It's not tricks. All right? So I wanted to get through this pretty quick because I want to know if there's anyone here that has a business that's got frustrations. They don't know if they're being seen by AI right now. I can't really pull up an audit, but anybody have any questions about directions with AI SEO and where to go? Sir.
Does the type of content matter?
Yes. Yep.
AI, user-generated, or...
Okay. So here's the thing about AI-generated content. People love it because it's easy. AI can't stand it because it sets a pattern. And we are starting to see this pattern as humans. We are starting to see and read AI content and be like, I think that's AI-generated. It didn't take us very long to get to that point. But we know when we see AI-generated content. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but you have to have, in my opinion, you have to have AI treat it like an interview. Have it write questions to you about that content and you answer it in your own words. Right? Never ever let it do it all the working for you, but have it interpret it for you. Right? You save time, you get to keep it in your voice, but also using AI to ask you the questions of your industry. 5 questions that are the hardest for your industry to answer. There's 5 posts right there. The harder the question, the more it digs under the surface of what your business does, what differentiates you. Now you know what you have to write. YMYB. If that's a really difficult question, what makes you different? based upon the answer of that really difficult question. It's a different philosophy now. But the thing is, you can start today. And here's another thing. People ask, when does AI index changes? In the past, you were lucky if it was 3 months. Today, 3 to 4 hours. That's how fast it moves. So that is why it's very important. If you have a business website, you get comfortable with making changes. You just have to, because it moves that fast. And you can see weekly if what you make a change for changes the amount of call to actions that you receive. Before, you didn't know. You had to wait 2 months, 3 months, and then, oh, I saw this change that you did to your website. No more. So fast. Any other questions? Did that answer your question for you?
Sure did. Follow-up.
Okay, I'll get to yours in a second.
Okay.
What's your follow-up?
Follow-up is, does that stress the importance on knowledge base? So that way your AI knows you better, so it can ask you better questions?
Yes, it does. It does. To ask just flat in a new chat with AI, give me problems with this industry. It's going to give you things, but yes, you want to build into it. The prompting is something I'm not going to cover, but yes, you want to build a large enough prompt to talk about your business, even your website, what your social platform, social links are, and then start building in the questions for your industry. Because now you're giving it access to a more broader perspective, right? But yes, you want to increase your knowledge base to give them enough information so that they really give you the most difficult questions possible, right? You have nothing to lose except gain a unique perspective on the hardest questions in your industry and placing it right at the front of your website. Who would turn that down? It would be very difficult for people to say, oh, well, you know, they don't know what they're talking about. You just answered the toughest question. And then you posted about it. And then you made videos about it, right? Another thing too, and this is another side, Reddit. Everyone needs to be on Reddit, especially business owners. You have an opportunity to differentiate yourself on one platform, just Reddit. And you can run ads on it, but I'm not going to talk about ads because ads are a completely different beast. But Reddit is tapped by ChatGPT. ChatGPT feeds its data set with Reddit. It's been doing that for the last 1.5 years. So whatever you post on Reddit, you have a 30% chance that it's going to get put into AI or Google GPT mentions. 30%, just by having one platform. Your question, sir.
I came late. You may already cover it. So how can I check the AI index?
How can you check the AI index?
Yeah, you mentioned the AI index changed 3 or 4 hours. But where is there a place I can check the AI index for a certain website?
You can ask it. You can't check the data set, the system, right? You can ask ChatGPT to look at a specific website and tell you what it thinks of it. But you can't go into the programming to see where it actually is, like the code. That's not going to happen. But you can ask it about your competition. You can ask ChatGPT to do an assessment on a competitor of yours. And you can have it ask it, compare my website to their website. What makes me different? What makes me unique? You can do that sitting down. You can do that on your phone just with the speaker. You know? It's important to know that there is no way of finding how the sausage is made, per se, with AI. The only thing we can do is try to build our businesses that directly contact humans, right? The old system, the old SEO, was about little tricks, little tweaks, so that the algorithm can index it this way, index it that way. Those days are over. And here's an interesting fact. So at Google, For the algorithm, they had 1,100 English-speaking engineers doing algorithm updates for English Google. How many Japanese language people were working on the Japanese interpretation of Google? One. One engineer that knew and did the interpretive Japanese translation of the Google algorithm for Japan. So what does that mean? If you know another language, if you know Spanish, if you know Arabic, Japanese, any Asian language, do you know how much of an advantage you have now? You're going up against less than 5 engineers for their algorithm. The SEO system hasn't even caught up to other languages yet. It's still working on English. That's why it's so hard. That's why it's so difficult for English speakers to rank in their system. But if you know another language, it's still the old west of the old SEO, because they just don't have the manpower to change the algorithms for those languages. Huge advantage, right? Any other questions? Any questions at all? Yes, sir.
Going back to Reddit, so are you suggesting maybe like a subreddit, or are you suggesting like having an account for your business that applies to all the relevant pages, or what?
Okay, so here's the secret sauce. You start your personal, all right? Personal Reddit. You can't sell your website on there, but you can offer that you know this business that does this, or you contribute to the industry, the R industry of your business. You offer your opinions. You get up to 55 karma at minimum. Then you start a subreddit, and you invite the people into the subreddit. Now you have them. You completely negate the marketing funnel, because now you have direct communication. No one's doing that. No one's doing that. You do that, you're setting yourself up for the next 3-4 years and beating AI at their own game. Another thing, Facebook groups. You can start one for free. Invite customers, people that left reviews. Promote the group. Same thing as the Reddit, same strategy, but more on a mass scale. That way, you can promote your website in the group. Sorry,
let's cut you off. About Facebook groups and everything, am I able to use LinkedIn in the same area?
So, it's a good question. LinkedIn, in my opinion, is kind of its own island. It's got bridges to it, right? We still need it as a part of our business. But LinkedIn is more on, I would say no. And the reason is LinkedIn's purpose is for people to get jobs, right? But also people to promote what they're working on, what they have worked on. You can have reviews on there. That's great. You can have a business page. But the SEOs that I know that work on clients of businesses, they don't work on their Facebook or their LinkedIn-based business page. They don't work on them. They work on the owner, the personal brand. They don't work on their business page. I mean, do you save and follow Nike? I mean, and again, the thing about AI SEO is that we have an opportunity to look in the mirror as customers of these businesses that we're trying to build ourselves, right? We've never had that before. We just had to find ways and go on the internet and say, oh, well, if you use the business of your industry and the location it is, you'll rank in the top 5 pages. Yeah, it worked. I lived off that. That's what I did. Those days are over, right? It's gone. And good. It's a good thing. We get to be individual business owners. At the same point, once the Google SERP is gone, we have an opportunity to not have competition. We We don't have, you can differentiate yourself from your industry and not have competition because you answer your answers the way you want to answer the questions to your industry. Not what the standard is. But I'll also tell you something else. In about 3 years, and I'll come out and say this, because that's what I do, marketing funnels are gone. AIDA, attention, interest, decision, action. In about 3 years, maybe even sooner from what I'm seeing, that'll be gone. Now what it's going to be replaced with? Direct answers in your posts to the questions. Just like I stated, but a chat bot, FAQs. You're not going to put people through a funnel because if you have a Reddit page or a Facebook page, you don't need their attention anymore. You don't need their interest. They're there because they made a decision. Now you can start harvesting them right there in something that you created for free. Right? Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Not a question, but it's just an observation because you're confirming exactly what my suspicions were as far as everybody offering the same shit.
Yep.
It's saying AI tool, funnel this, funnel that. But it really, with the AI, it really narrows down to how you handle the same problem, but just in your own way.
Yep.
It brings about a different transparency that makes people buy what you have to offer in lieu of the other competitors, right?
Yep. That's why in 3 years you're going to notice that. 3 years. People are still on the blue link train right now. I get it. People are still talking about Google Ads right now. Those days are over. It's over. Because if you start today, if you start this weekend, if you start thinking about the strategy that your business is trying to create, and then you go back and you have a plan on that strategy, who's going to compete on your strategy? It's your strategy. It's what differentiates you from everybody else. The only problem that people are going to have is they haven't done enough with their strategy. They haven't posted on Facebook. They haven't posted on LinkedIn. They don't have a YouTube channel. They don't have a Reddit account. They don't have a TikTok. So their strategy is stuck in whatever platform they post once every 3 days. The consistency element of new AI SEO is on the business owner. How bad do you want it? Sure.
I got another question.
Sure.
I got, as far as my business, I got it on all platforms except for Facebook. I don't like Facebook. Do you think I should still have like a Facebook page for it?
What's your industry?
Currently right now, I'm doing cybersecurity for government contracting. Okay, thank you.
Yep. Nope. Because Facebook, and again, let's look at the strategy, right? Facebook people would not, the only people that care about cybersecurity on Facebook are people looking for a job in cybersecurity on Facebook. And why are they on Facebook? They should be on LinkedIn anyway. There you go. So, and again, every industry is different. Every industry should have a obtuse understanding of how to promote their business on socials. But at a eventual point, with enough data, you're cutting off the fat. And you're zeroing in, you're leaning into 2 to 3, maybe 4 platforms. But you don't know until you do them all as to what to cut off, right? And again, this is an optimization thing. This is an engineering thing. You wouldn't pigeonhole yourself if you knew that you didn't, you may be surprised. You may be having posts on X that get clicks, but you didn't know until you started doing it, right? Same thing with SEO and your website. You have to change, be comfortable with changing copy on your website to facilitate what people are looking for. Set it and forget it is a bad thing to have right now, right? But you can have AI suggest things based upon your strategy. Now, the first thing that you could also, what I suggest doing, is getting comfortable with talking to AI about what your strategy is for your business. What do you want this thing to do? Because it's not doing keyword research. Those days are over. It's not doing ranking. It's not doing, well, we're going to get you on, second page of Google. But you're asking it to give it your opinion. It's a coworker. Doesn't mean you have to put it in there, but you might be surprised what certain LLMs are able to do. Now, when we talk about LLMs, there is differentiation between those as well. If you want to have optimized website structure, Gemini is the only way to go. Gemini. If you want to optimize for schema, which is JavaScript programming on the back end of your website, Gemini is the only way to go. If you want content engaging copy, ChatGPT is the only way to go. If you want an assessment of strategy for your business, Claude is the only way to go. Right? Now, it doesn't mean that you have to start using just those for those particular things, but it's important to know that Google owns all the data. This is Google's gold mine. ChatGPT, Perplexity, all the other AIs, they buy data from Google, and then they put it on their platforms. So if you want the best of them all, go to the source, which is Google, right? Any other questions? Sure.
Similar question. Facebook, my understanding is more like B2C,
Yep.
consumer. So for medical device industry, Facebook is not very useful, right?
Unless it's people that have already used the product.
Oh, yeah.
That's testimonials.
Yeah.
That is huge, and I wouldn't turn my back on Facebook right away. I would use it,
Okay.
but just for that, because you're not going to talk about the technicals of the device on Facebook. That's not your audience. That's LinkedIn's audience. But people that have used it,
My follow-up question, second
Yep.
question is, internally we do the strategy thing with AI. Does the question we ask help train the AI publicly? So if other people ask the same question, our question help, the answer, right?
yes, because, when you ask AI a question, it's going to go out and find the snippet or the area or what has been indexed that best answers your question, right? It's going to be different for everybody. Now, if we were talking ChatGPT 1, it gave kind of basic answers, right? It was primitive. Now at 5.2, it's customized for what you are. Now, it's going to know that you're a business owner. So there's a likelihood it's going to talk about your business or relay how your business could be seen with that inquiry, right? So it's not simple anymore. It's not like the good old days of the Google link where we would just have an optimized meta description, a title for the website that had industry location. Now it's different. The computer knows you now. AI knows you. And now it's building your audience through AI is never a bad thing. But keep in mind, it also knows who you are. So it's going to start to answer for you because you are the owner, you're the user, right? So I would play with it with different platforms. I would try Gemini, I would try ChatGPT, I would try Claude. See where the answers lie. Because now you get a more better perspective of how LLMs work. Because you have more data, Any other questions? Sure. Yep.
Yeah, I got a website question. So I built my website on WordPress, mentoring stuff. I just spoke to my CTO and I asked him, disable the JavaScript. And he says we can't because it's
Oh, no. You can do it in the browser.
through the browser.
Yeah. So in Chrome, you have the Chrome store.
Yeah.
There's a little program called Disable JavaScript in the Google store. Free download, put it on the browser. You're not looking to disable the JavaScript in Elementor. You're looking to do it from the browser. I should have cleared that up. From the browser perspective, because that's where the AI robots are indexing from, right? They're getting permission to do it through the servers, through WordPress. But what they see is the JavaScript that is presented on their browser, right? Easy little test, simple little app will save you so much headache because you will see it. If things are gone, it's because JavaScript is part of that programming. And AI specifically says we are not indexing JavaScript. They only index HTML. So what does that mean? H1s and H3s. Bring it back to the simple system. We're back 40, 50 years ago now with AI, right? And we want it to be simpler anyway. If you have cascading videos, if you have rollover animations that have a running number of how many customers you've had, AI doesn't care about that. It doesn't care. It cares about what the copy is of your H1, and it's going to index it, and it's going to take it and basically what's called tokenization. It's going to chop it up, and it's going to make an algorithm out of it. It's going to make a math probability out of it based upon what people want to know. And if your copy resonates with more people, it's going to get mentioned. However, if you do the opposite side of the fence and you promote the hell out of it, then AI has no choice but to mention it because you have people behind you that have said, this is the best business. I worked with this business. I know this business owner. They know what they're doing. So you can do one, but this side of the fence makes a heck of a lot more sense. But it costs so much time. It's a lot of work. But if you're in it to win it, you'll do whatever it takes. Right? Yes?
One follow-up question. So I asked if we ask a question internally, outside public may know what we're discussing with AI. Is there any way, because we also provide confidential information to AI to get some answer, how can we tell AI this is confidential, they shouldn't share?
Okay, that's a real technical question. How would you do that? So, I mean, if you have confidential information on your website, you can go in and block LLMs from indexing it, right? So like before AI, you could have Google servers, the robot texts say don't index this. If you can not have it there and have it as a separate website or separate page, you cannot index the page, but then you can have everything else on the page be indexed. That's a way of working around it because you would ask the LLMs not to index this page that you know that has information on it. Confidential, I mean, then again, ask the question, should it be on the website at all?
No, I'm talking about not a website, because my discussion is strategic discussion with AI, and can I keep that discussion confidential, if we give them certain confidential information to AI?
You would have to turn off settings in AI to not make it posted public. There's a setting in certain LLMs that you can do that.
Oh.
Right. But yes and no. You can, but you can't. You know what I mean? But you can turn off privacy. You can purchase the teams, the ChatGPT teams, and then I believe there's parameters in there that you can set to say none of this is going to be out in public. This is just between me, you, and that. So yes, there is ways. There's multiple ways now. Multiple ways. Any other questions? Okay. All right. Well, let's see how much time we got. Almost 2. This is my information. That's my website. Oh, that's actually changed, but that's my Instagram, my YouTube. that's pretty much it. If you have any other questions, I'll answer them. If not, then I appreciate you guys coming in and sitting down and let me babble. Thank you.